This movie felt like a fever dream, a feverish, dreamlike experience with explosions of sounds and noises and color. See, I'm straight edge. I don't drink, I don't do any alcohol, but this movie felt like I took a tablet of LSD and took a hit and went on a trip. And the one thing I give this movie that's a huge pro is that it doesn't waste any time. It does a quick little setup and it goes 100 miles per hour, speeding through the film until it reaches its finale. I went to go see this movie at like 3:30 p.m. showing, packed house, probably the most packed house I've had all year, and I got out by like 5:30, which is very unusual, especially with 30-minute trailers and ads. The movie really started at 4. I couldn't believe how quickly this movie moved and how short the runtime was. And quite like the 1993 live-action adaptation of the Super Mario Brothers game, this movie, the Minecraft movie, features tons of references from the film where fans are going to enjoy and love and ooh and ah point, but it tells its own original story. John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins in that Super Mario movies had really silly but very committed performances that made that very, very messy film very enjoyable for me, at least in 1993. I still think it holds up a little bit as like a it's so bad it's good film. And similarly here, the chaotic energy and bromance of Jason Momoa and Jack Black, especially Jack Black, carries this movie. Their energy alone powers this movie despite everything it has against it. Black, who's always usually on 100 when he's in a film, times that by another 100. He's full force in this movie. He's fully committed and he's having a blast playing this character, Steve, the main character from the game. He's doing weird pronunciations of words that I think little kids are going to be saying in school all year. He's singing because you know he loves to sing and he does a great job at that too, and he's doing the full gyrations and weird quips and all that. He brings everything he can to Steve to make it a very chaotic and energetic performance that everybody probably going to be enthused by. And Jason Momoa plays a person from the real world who is struggling after he was a child prodigy at playing video games, and that really didn't really help him in his adult life, and he's trying to find a way where he can fit in as an adult. And then him and other people get sucked into the Minecraft world by mistake, and he enters this bromance with Jack Black. First it's like a rivalry because he's trying to prove that he's manly and cooler than him, but eventually turns into this bromance that is so lovely that it might be worth checking the movie out on its own just because of that. Now, is the movie a good movie? Can't say it's a good movie in the traditional sense, but it has the perfect checklist for a movie that's so bad that it's so good. Incoherent plot? Check. Shallow themes that are screamed at you at the top of their lungs but never fully explored or earned? Check. Needless side characters that are there anyway just to do gags that add nothing to the story but kind of make you chuckle? Check. And terrible dialogue? Check, super double check.
Cut the check.
However, for my brothers in Christ that are on the spectrum, there's a stimulus pack worthy of moments in this movie that are from quotes, weird moments that happen throughout the film, sounds and faces that are going to be meme worthy, and you can have ticks and say them all throughout the year. I can see so many memes busting from out of this movie and so many people quoting certain lines and the way characters say it throughout the year, and maybe time to come. I think this movie might be one of those cult classic films that everybody trash in the beginning, but some people will really hang on to. The game is about a world where you can build anything you can imagine. And in this film, a mysterious portal pulls 4 misfits into the overworld, a bizarre cubic wonderland that thrives on imagination. To get back home, they'll have to master the terrain while embarking on a magical quest with an unexpected crafter. Obviously, that's Jack Black playing Steve. The only issue I have with the film is that the imagination that this movie kind of puts as its forefront and its themes and trying to, like, even no matter what, if you're a kid or you're an adult, it's not a bad thing that you are creative, even if you're bullied for it, which I think is a beautiful thing to teach kids. I just think that the script is not creative enough to fully pull that off in this Minecraft world where it's any possibility you can. They go to the lowest denominator of creation and don't go as big and as wide as I wish it did. It kind of is lesser versions of movies, especially like Lord of the Rings, where they reference things like that but never get as creative as I thought they could. If I had overall fun with the film, I had a terrible theater experience watching this film because obviously this is a game that a lot of kids that are way younger than me grew up on. I didn't grow up in this game. I've only played it maybe 30 minutes like 10 years ago. So I really don't have understand any of the references or anything like that. But the kids were going banana nut cream pie watching this film. Anytime a random character showed up and they didn't even have to say the character's name, they went nuts. If they heard a sound that sounds something similar to the game, they went nuts. Or if some random thing just showed up on the screen, they went absolutely nuts, which is great. It made certain parts of the film that probably if I was just watching this alone, it wouldn't have been as fun. It enhanced it because I was just having fun seeing everybody get so excited. But also as a detriment if you're that type of person that wants to go to the theaters and hear everything that's going on and kind of be able to soak in all the information. It kind of feels like how non-comic book fans feel when they're watching an MCU film, and us comic book fans or MCU fans who catch the references are ooh and ah and making noise. And now I know how they feel because I had no idea what was going on. Fortunately, the movie does repeat information over and over and over and over until it's right in your brain that you can't forget it. And then also it doesn't really matter because the movie never spends enough time in one place for you to get invested or care about any of the environments that they go to. The movie is too busy running full speed ahead from each set piece to each set piece to each joke than spending time and really exploring this world that they created or they adapting with these colorful characters. And I think the fast pace works. I think if they try to take this movie way too seriously, I think the movie would have been bogged down. Honestly, even though the plot is not very coherent and the themes are not fleshed out and none of the character arcs are either finished or earned, it's so fun because it goes through so many weird moments that will make you go, what the hell? Or laugh or chuckle. And while a lot of the jokes don't land, a lot of them do land. And there's some really specific ones that are really quick that really got a good chuckle out of me. And they don't last or like stay long on them. And they just go to the next one and keeps building and building and building. So it makes you feel like you're experiencing something instead of actually just watching a movie. It's happening to you, not you watching it. But the one thing I gotta say is I'm happy that this movie is created. I think for a lot of kids that grew up on this game, and so for some of the young adults who also play the game, I think they're gonna be very, very happy to see the characters that they love and the world that they love, and they spend so many hours in being brought to life with so much passion. You can tell that the creators here enjoy Minecraft, at least at the most surface level. I'm not 100% sure if they follow the Minecraft story 100% or do any of the things the proper way, but they reference things in a way that I could see by the audience reaction Minecraft fans enjoyed. And as someone that has seen video game adaptations that I love, like a Super Mario Brothers movie or a bunch of comic book adaptations that I love that reference things that I've read, I'm happy for them even though it's not for me. What also helps is that all the actors, especially Momoa and Black, are having a blast in this film and having a ton of fun. I wish some of the other characters were able to join in the fun. They kind of made some of the characters kind of wet blankets, unfortunately, and one of the characters was just not that impressive. I wish they all were kind of zany, but they served their purposes and they made the movie stable and fun as well. And you know, some of them could have been out of the movie and it wouldn't have changed it, but they didn't deter from the movie either. So while they enhanced the film because of how much fun and passionate they were having, the director of the film is the director of Nacho Libre and Napoleon Dynamite, and you can definitely tell within the comedic style and the way the film acts and is structured that this film fits right in that comedic style. That if you like those films and you like the way how the comedic timing in that film goes, you're gonna love what they do here. This is those kind of films but in blockbuster style. Even though this film is not my cup of tea, it's not a film that I feel like I'm gonna watch again. It's not a film that I can recommend everybody go to watch unless you're a serious Minecraft fan or at least a video game fan, because it does feel like a video game movie. I think because I was entertained for 90% of this movie, I was only maybe kind of either confused or bored for like 10% of it. If you're just curious about it, I think you should go check it out and give it a try because it's an entertaining time despite all its faults. It's just really, really fun. Don't go in here expecting a traditional structure or plot or any of that stuff here. It's just an explosion of sound, really, really fun, and a great time at the movie theaters, especially in a crowd. Hopefully they're not too loud. I didn't mean to rhyme there. But with that said, I'm going to give a Minecraft movie a C. Question of the day is, what is your favorite video game adaptation? Drop your comments down below and let me know. And you can watch more content right now.